Hey, I'm Peter and I'm learning Dungeons and Dragons from zero. I'm a total beginner. I'm actually a dad of two and a filmmaker, and recently I got this new hobby. And let me talk first about how this whole thing came from me, and why I'm journaling about it online. I think first of all, this journaling process is for myself to process what I'm learning, and talking about it helps a lot to deepen knowledge. And of course, I don't want to be talking about rules and stuff because there are the pros who can talk about it much better than me. But what I can talk about is what new players are experiencing. The players are there are players and the beginner dungeon masters who start out nowadays and are looking for knowledge. So this is more about my experience, and maybe this is going to be useful for someone like more experienced players trying to see into new players' brain or anything like that, or for new players to not feel alone in this sometimes overwhelming and daunting task. So where this whole thing came for me is I played Icewind Dale, the video game that was based on I, second, third edition of D&D, like 20 plus years ago. So it was a computer game, an RPG that I really loved, and I usually with RPGs on computer, I really got immersed in their worlds. I love the music, love the scenery, love to walk around, talk with the NPCs, and but I first of all I felt a bit always limited in them, and second of all I never finished them. I really enjoyed playing dozens of hours with these, but I never finished them. Not Icewind Dale, not like Fallout 2 that I also loved. So recently, Icewind Dale got in front of me once again, and I got even further into the storyline than I had before. But I didn't finish it just once again. But I started talking with my friends and colleagues about how I always wanted to try out like tabletop RPGs, but there was never really anyone around me who would have been a partner with that. But recently there was some interest, so I thought why not? So I digged into the whole topic and did some Google searches, and so here is what I found really helpful. uh, I found that free core rules, the basic rules that are freely available online by Wizards of the Coast, and I think it's both a really nice gesture from them and a really good marketing, because that's what really got me sucked into this whole thing, because I started reading the rules and I really loved how they build up and the system and some monsters and spells and stuff, and so yeah, that was really cool. I mean, it's really cool that it's available free for new players, and the other thing was a free adventure from the Critical Role Wide Amount setting book, the Frozen Sick one, and I started reading that one as well, and I just really fell in love with the whole thing. That there were paragraphs like, if the players do this, then you can do this will happen. If the players do that, then that will happen. And I felt like, oh my god, this is really like this is thought through pretty well. And so yeah, since my friends were only up for like being a player, I took the role of the dungeon master on myself, and it's a huge task if someone's a beginner. The internet had a whole lot of good resources and really good YouTube videos, and of course the Dungeon Master's Guide, the official the book, and the so yeah, so I found a lot of resources. The first thing that was both difficult and both really helpful for me in this whole journey is that I only had 2 sessions so far. One in text chat actually, and another one in live, but both were with only one player. Different players, but only one player at a time. And this this was difficult because I had to look up how to modify the written, like pre-published adventures to fit one player, to like to modify the encounters to make them not so deadly for only one player. And so that was actually a really good experience that required some thinking on my side, and that of course helps learning. And first I played in text chat, and I felt that is a really good first play because I between text messages I had the time to dig up rules, and if I was not sure about something I had the time to think. And on the second session, where that was already live, but only one player showed up at the end. And first, I was a bit like sad about it, but then I realized it was the best thing that could happen to me. So I had the chance to practice how to tell the rules to even more beginner players than me. And I was able to catch myself doing some mistakes, like I was railroading the player a lot, uh, and that yeah I will be much more aware of that from now on. And the last thing that I want to talk about that helped me a lot as a beginner is Critical Role. And I know what experienced players think now. Oh my god, another dude who thinks that Dungeons and Dragons, like normal everyday Dungeons and Dragons games, look like Critical Role. No, I'm a filmmaker. I know they are professional voice actors. I work with actors every day mostly. So I do know that, uh, especially beginners play is not going to be like that. But there are really good practices there. You can see the rules happen. It helps understanding, and if you see something that you don't understand, then you look it up, and so it's really good for learning, I would say. And they show a lot of really good habits that as a DM maybe I can encourage in my players, and a lot of things that I as a DM should be doing. So I would say, if you have your expectations, if you like, you know that your game is not going to be like that, then it's a really good starting Kickstarter for learning Dungeons and Dragons, both as a player and both as DM. So I would like to encourage you, if you watch this video so far, to shoot your experiences. How was it for you to be a beginner? What were your biggest lessons? Feel free to teach me in the comments. If you see me talk about something in a wrong way, or talking like stupid things, let me know. I want to learn. I'm journaling about this, mostly for myself, to hasten the deepening of the understanding of this whole thing. But as I mentioned, I hope this video is going to be useful for new players who are looking for resources, and maybe if they see that someone else is trying to learn all these things, and maybe they don't feel that alone in this process, because when I googled how to learn this whole thing, like a lot of stuff from the pros come in your face, and that's good. There's really good knowledge there, but maybe it's overwhelming at the first time, like, oh, I should be knowing all of these, oh my god. So no, So I hope these are going to be helpful. Thanks a lot for watching. And I was Peter. And this project of mine is basically just journaling my learning process for Dungeons and Dragons. And see you soon. Have a great day.